Hello, everyone. Welcome to the #1 Divine Intervention virtual event, the D.I.V.E Social-Summit for short. If you are new to D.I.V.E Live Online, my name is Iona Meade, your big vision and mission purpose-preneur and founder of the Soul Speakers Academy. So I'm your host for this interview series, and I've brought together 49 guest experts who I like to call soul speakers from all over the world, sharing with you soul-inspired, intuitive business, lifestyle and marketing strategies for purpose-driven business owners. So throughout the 49 days of the Social Summit, I'll bring each of my guests into the Soul Speakers Spotlight, and they'll share with you not only their free gift, but also their soul-inspired strategy for the day. So hopefully this will be coming to you with divine energy, in divine flow, and in divine timing. So we know that the universe brings us what we need, and sometimes doing it all alone is not much fun. So that's why you'll have the opportunity to connect with me, my guests, and other like-minded attendees in the D.I.V.E Social Summit in the Soul Speakers Tribe Facebook group. So I'll put the link to the freebie for today around this interview, and you can go and grab that. And if you haven't been to the bonus training for the Social Summit called Speak Your Soul's Message 101, do pick that up there as well. So I'm going to welcome my very special guest. We have about 20 minutes together today. Super excited about this interview. So please welcome Rachael Sparks. Hi, Rachael. How are you?
I'm great, Iona. Thanks for having me. It's good to be here.
Thank you, Rachael. Thank you for joining D.I.V.E Live Online. So let me give you a warm introduction. So Rachael Sparks is an empowerment coach for women. After trying to juggle graduate school, a newborn, a toddler, and grad assistantship, and a divorce, Rachael began to study overwhelm, stress reduction, and that elusive work-life balance, as we can probably all resonate. Reading, studying, implementing everything she could get her hands on. And Rachael began putting her life back together, and she's now working full-time as a coach, helping others find balance and purpose in their lives. How amazing is that, guys? So if you have any questions for Rachael throughout this interview, do leave them below. And also, if you're here on Rachael's featured day, do come into the Facebook group and ask any questions. And if you're not here on, you're here at a later date, then do come in and let us know how you find this interview, because that balance is totally key. And it's always on my mind about really how I can find that balance. So I am excited. So Rachael, before we go into your freebie gift for today and your soul-inspired strategy, can you share with our audience a little bit about more in your own words, how your path unfolded and what it is that you do today and who for?
Yes, I've always been kind of an overachiever, somebody who wants to have a lot on their plate because I like to be busy and I like to be productive. However, when I found myself in grad school, I was actually in a counseling program. This was a little over 4 years ago. I was getting my master's in counseling psychology, and I was going through a divorce because I just had too much and my life was falling apart. Mm-hmm. I was refused by campus services for counseling services, and because I was in the program, and it was a conflict of interest, and I was able to get some emergency help from some counselors, but it was just 2 or 3 sessions. So I started just utilizing everything I had at my disposal, researched everything I could to get myself back on track. And I was able to show up fully for my children when I had them. And now my life looks completely different.
Oh, thank you so much. And I love that you are so open with your journey and juggling all that stuff. It's you know, it's easy to fall out of balance or to, you know, not have that alignment that you really want to have. And I resonate with that divorce piece, because absolute chaos. And I did go through what felt like the messiest divorce in history for me. And I really did have to take those steps to rebuild my life. And as you say, reclaiming your life, you know, seeing what it is that you really want. Everything's kind of that new norm that you have to get used to, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I love it. So Rachael, for our audience, you talk about that reclaiming your life. What would that mean to somebody who is out of balance right now?
So to reclaim your life means to take back what you really want to do. A lot of times we find ourselves stuck in a role everywhere we are. We're playing a role for the people in our life. So at work, we play a role. For our husbands, we play a role as wife. For our kids, we play that role as mother. And a lot of times we lose ourselves in all of that. And so if you want to reclaim your life, it's about getting back in integrity and in alignment with who you really are deep down and what your passions and desires are, and then moving forward in that direction rather than the direction society wants you to go in.
Oh, I love that. How beautifully is that put? That's really cool. I love that. And it is that role, what do I do? It's almost like splitting yourself up when you're out of alignment or out of balance. It's easy to, as you say, go along with what is expected of me in this area, what's expected of me in that area. And it can become really draining to keep that up. It's almost like a show in some ways that, I've got to be, because we have those goals and you want to be a certain person, certain mother, a certain kind of mother, and certain kind of wife or husband or whatever, doing the best that you can. And when it all does fall apart, it kind of sends you into a tailspin. So I totally resonate. And if you guys resonate with that, do leave your comments below. If you've come to that point in your life, or you're just coming out of it, or you're just going in and you might be fearful of certain things, or not know where to turn. And, you're asking yourself, how do I actually get control of where I am? How do I put those steps in place? And I love that it leads beautifully into the free gift that you shared today. And you talk about the 3 steps. 3 steps. How brilliant is that, right? 3 steps to reclaim your life. Can you share a little bit more on that, Rachel, please?
Yeah. So in my ebook, I really focus on the inner work that needs to happen to take your life back and to kind of get back on your footing so that you can spend your quality time where you really, truly will get value and feel good each and every day.
Yeah. Oh, awesome. So we won't have time to cover all of those steps. And again, guys, you have full permission to multitask and go and get Rachel's free gift today. It's really generously given and you'll really enjoy it. And take that time to sit with it. So you have those 3 steps, and you go through some exercises and some questions, some powerful questions that people can really think about. Where would you say that somebody starts? Although you've got those 3 steps, where will they start when they sign up and they sit with that and they are feeling like, is this for me? Can I really turn it around?
I think the best place to start is to really just be in stillness and see what comes up for you, like in your life where you're really feeling the pinch. And then think about using these 3 steps in the book. You can think about how they're showing up to help kind of create that situation for you. Yeah. And if you can just focus on just one stressful point or one point that causes you to feel overwhelmed or pressure, then you can start to focus on that and take action steps consistently toward turning that around.
Oh, thank you. I know in step 2 of the 3 steps, which really jumped out for me, and the title of it and where it might lead people, you talk about creating awareness of your thoughts, your interactions and your emotions. And for somebody who is going through something similar, either about to or in the midst of it, or coming out the tail end of a divorce, or juggling their work and their life, and their inner world feels quite chaotic, so that's reflecting on their outer world. So how does that play out in terms of your thoughts and your interactions and your emotions?
Well, oftentimes you're going to hear yourself saying things and thinking things catastrophically or negatively, or just like utterly exasperated because you're like, I don't know what to do. And so you're throwing your hands up and you're saying, I'm not, you start to believe I can't handle this. I can't do this. I don't know if I'm capable of putting my life back together at this point. Or you're blaming a lot of people, and you'll see that show up. It's, it's his fault, it's her fault, it's you know, the system, it's whoever. And that's also another way that this shows up. So in my second step, I say, let's take an awareness inventory, kind of look at what you're saying to yourself. What's that inner voice saying? And each time you catch yourself saying something negative, then switching that to a more positive frame of reference. And that takes consistency and practice. It's not.
Yeah, guys, we're not promising that it happens overnight, but starting somewhere to reclaim, because when we're feeling in that stuck place, it is sometimes it's difficult to believe. And I know that you talk about, and we won't go through all of the steps about visualizing and really deciding what it is that you want your life to look and feel like, and replacing those things that are not going so well for you. But when you're feeling like that, imagine coming to the other side. Imagine you're the only one that can do that for you. You're the only one that can actually reach out like you did. You reached out and said, actually, I need some help around this because it doesn't feel great and things are not going the way that I expected them to do. Things are kind of falling apart. And I think for purpose-driven business owners in particular, and that's why the event is about your lifestyle, your business and your marketing, it's interwoven, right? Because you talk about the inner world, you and your life and your work. Can you share a little bit on that?
Yeah, so I believe that your inner world, in the book, I show that you are on one side of the scale, and then your work and relationships are on the other side of the scale. And so when you try to balance, you really have to be aware of how you're taking care of yourself. And that's the reason why I did that visual that way, because anything you do good for yourself, you're going to do good for your work and for your relationships with other people. And it's just going to come full circle back to you.
Yeah, I love that. And you talk about like that blueprint that we're living from. And when things do go like in chaos in our life, we blame, like you're saying, I blame here, and it is that inner guidance, that programming, that blueprint that we're living and we're operating from, and it absolutely can be changed, right? That blueprint that we live by. Yeah,
absolutely. I think most of it's habitual thinking, and absolutely, that can definitely be changed.
Oh, awesome. So guys, if you resonate with this and you want to reclaim your life, use those 3 steps. Do come into the Facebook group and continue on the conversation, because I really think how important it is to be in alignment, to be that someone that is being true to you, that is having a healthy relationship with yourself, and actually taking the steps to actually, do the things that you really want to do from that space, like you're saying about those roles, aligning that, because it changes, right? When you have that alignment and you're not trying on this role and that role and having that expectation that is not supporting you, life feels very different, right? So what would you say about like the expectations? I know that you talk about expecting a certain thing or expecting your life to look a certain way in the book, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, my mouse is going a little bit slow.
That's okay. I think for expectations, the main thing is look at how you expect things to play out before you, and then that's a clue as to how you're interacting with the world. So if you're staying in this program, for example, and you're trying to create balance, expect for it to take time, expect for it to take practice, and then don't expect to rearrange necessarily what you do every day or take a whole bunch of stuff off your plate. It's more about where your focus is and how the things that you are doing are actually a priority that aligns with your values, rather than something that someone else values or believes you should be doing. And that's the key thing. It's going to be a very subtle shift.
Yeah.
But it's going to be magnificent in terms of your well-being.
Oh, for sure. I love that. So Rachel, let's move on to that soul inspired strategy of the day. So guys, again, do go get the freebie. And the idea behind this soul inspired strategy is now we're giving each of my guests are bringing into the summit their free gifts, their strategies, their steps, their tools, and the practical things. And the soul inspired strategy for the day is about helping you to move and feel your way in your life and your business and your marketing. And if you are that person that wants to reclaim your life internally and have that reflect on your external world, I think that's perfect. So do share your strategy for today, Rachel. That'd be great.
Well, my soul inspired strategy is to understand that most of what we want to see in our outer world starts in our inner world. So if I had to say any one strategy that I see come up with my clients all the time, is to practice putting in place some boundaries. Mm-hmm. And that just means, and we all hear it, say no more often, but it also means say yes to the things that you actually want to do, and asking yourself critical questions like, what am I willing to do today or this morning or this afternoon?
Oh, wow, I love that. That is so true. So what are you willing to do today? We'd love to know, actually, right? We'd love to know that actually what you're going to say no to, that you probably wanted to say no, and you have that in you where you're like, you're on the verge of saying no. It's like, oh yeah, I'll do that. Or yeah, you know, because that's part of reclaiming your life, right? Just being able to say no to the things that don't feel comfortable, that you don't want to do, that drain you, and saying yes to the things that light you up. I love that strategy for today. It's beautiful and it's so simple. And that's why I say that soul inspired strategy, because you're intuitively, you know, right? You know whether that's going to support you or it's not, but sometimes it's just having that confidence and that permission to say yes or no. So practice saying yes or no. I do it. I say yes and no to things, definitely. I'm not perfect at it, but you know, I definitely do that. So thank you so much for sharing, Rachel. As we wrap up today's interview, and I will ask you if you have anything to add at the end. And if you are here on Rachel's Speech Today again, do come over and connect and let us know, you know, what's going on for you and how we can support you more. So if you know of anyone who resonates with that and you can see that it looks like chaos is unfolding in their life, do share this interview with them, because we want to be supporting them as well. So throughout the summit, we're hopefully, you know, giving you some real insights and shifts and aha moments, as Rich said, getting still and just being able to pause and see what is supporting you. And we know, as a purpose-driven business owner, that if you want to create that transformation, and I say it and I say it again, that transformation begins with you. And what better way to actually own and reclaim your life, like Rachel did? You know, she knew that actually this is not supporting me, I'm going to turn it around, and now she's able to support others. So that transformation begins with you. So we're not asking you to pay for the replays of the interviews or locking off the freebies, because we don't want to leave you stuck behind closed doors alone. We want to be supporting you in getting your gifts out there and living the best life that you possibly can. And we would be doing you a disservice if we didn't have a way for you to get into inspired action. And again, my bonus training for the summit is called Speak Your Soul's Message 101. Getting your message out there, doing what we're doing, being featured as that guest expert, owning and reclaiming your life. So you're doing what it is that you love and what lights you up. And Rachel, if you love what Rachel's sharing, she's been really generous enough to contribute to what I call an Uber giveaway, along with all of our guests. So as you come into D.I.V.E live online, do check out all of our soul speakers and their area of expertise, and see if you need a lot or a little help in whatever area, because they'll also be giving you those gifts to that giveaway. Super priceless. And if you are someone that's struggling a little bit and you don't know where to turn, then, you know, we have your back. That's the purpose of the summit. So Rachel, before we go, is there anything that you'd like to add?
I just want to say thank you, Iona, for having me on here. It was a pleasure. I do hope that something I said is of value to your listeners and to our audience today. And I think this is a wonderful summit.
Oh, thank you. And thank you for being here. I value your contribution. And, you know, we are living that, and we're learning ourselves, and what we learned, we're sharing and we're giving back. That's our way of giving back And definitely chaos unfolded in my life. My life's not perfect, but moving through that divorce, moving through my stories and moving through that stuck place really feels amazing. I feel divinely guided. I'm able to take those steps. I've been able to take those steps to reclaim my life and actually know what I want it to look and feel like. And working with guests and soul speakers like Rachael, it just lights me up. So I'm saying yes to that and no to other things. So when you stay present, I think the magic is going to happen. Absolutely. So yeah, thank you, Rachael. So I look forward to, that's it for today. I look forward to seeing you again as I bring another soul speaker into the D.I.V.E Social Summit for you, sharing more soul-inspired, intuitive business, lifestyle, and marketing strategies for you. So this is Iona Meade signing off, saying I'll see you over at www.D.I.V.E Live online. Take care, guys.